everybody. Welcome back to the second episode of Does It Still Hold Up, where I rewatch Disney Channel original movies from my and hopefully your childhoods and see if they still hold up. Today, I will be talking about Den Brother. Den Brother, much like Avalon High, is a movie that I've only seen once, 10 years ago, haven't seen since, and decided to rewatch it and see if it still holds up. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Den Brother stars Hutch Dano, aka Zeke from Zeke and Luther. But in this movie, he's Alex Pearson, high school hockey star. The movie starts with the hockey game, where we're pretty immediately shown that Alex Pearson is basically Dwayne Johnson's character in, dang it, I forgot the name of the movie. You know, the movie where Dwayne Johnson is a selfish, boastful athlete who through strange circumstances becomes a better selfless person. The Game Plan? No, the other one. Oh, the Tooth Fairy. That's the one. So the team that Alex is on loses, but he says that he won because he played really great and he thinks he has a shot of getting onto the All-Star team. Then his friend Goose gets mad that he never passes to him and then asks if he wants to come over to play some video games. And then Alex is like, oh yeah, sure, except, wasn't there something I was supposed to do? And then Goose says, I think, wasn't it, you had to watch your sister? And then Alex replies, oh yeah, that's what it was, you know, she's what, 6 years old? She's probably fine. And then Goose is like, dude, what are you, an idiot? Go watch your sister! So then he ends up having to bring his sister to a Bumblebee Girl Scouts meeting. And apparently the previous den mother of Troop 57 is leaving because her husband got another job and she's moving or something. So then she's like, I'm a head out, which is a meme that I refuse to let die. And then she takes her daughter, never to be heard of again. So now Alex is very reluctantly running the Girl Scouts meeting. He ends up trying to teach them hockey as a go for it. Then he gets into a fight with a member of the rival hockey team, and in classic Disney Channel original movie fashion, it cuts to him holding a stake on his eye. So then we find out that he has this crush on this girl, Matisse, and his friend Goose is just so supportive of this. He's like, you're never gonna date her. You have no chance with her. Such a supportive friend. So then Alex goes up to her and is like, you know, I'm kind of, a big shot hockey player here and the most popular guy in school, so, you should really be jumping at the chance to date me because, when you think about it, I'm actually doing you a favor. So, as you probably guessed, that didn't go very well. So then Alex comes to the conclusion that the reason she said no is because he doesn't have a car. Then at the next hockey game, Alex goes a little bit too far in showboating with his entrance and ends up getting suspended from the team. Now he has a lot of downtime, so he and his father make a deal that he will do chores in exchange for a car. Then, since he's the new Den Mother, or Den Brother if you will, I'm not clever, that's the name of the movie, all of the Girl Scouts at Troop 57 come over to his house. However, then he takes them to some group basket decorating event. Once he finds out that Matisse is going to be there as a junior helper and tries to play it off as a coincidence. Then Troop 57 decorates their baskets differently than everybody else, which gets Den Brother Dina mad. So she's like, I'm mad, you should be doing it my way, and also, where's your Den Brother, and also, I'm a Karen. Then Alex quickly makes up the name Mrs. Zamboni. Get it? Because hockey? And then he says that Mrs. Zamboni is their den mother, but she's sick at home. So then Dina is like, alright, you win this round, but I'm on to you. Then Alex impresses Matisse with the baskets that Troop 57 made. And later, he tries to ask Matisse out, but then ends up agreeing to drive her to some meeting for Den Brothers and Junior Helpers or something. Then Alex makes Troop 57 do all of his chores, giving them badges for each of them. And then his father, thinking that he has changed and did all of his chores, gets him a car. However, the car is a piece of garbage. But then he makes Troop 57 fix the car for him so he can drive Matisse to the meeting. They also help him get ready and give him advice on what to say because they consider it a date. Then, at the meeting, Alex ends up standing up to Dina for all the other den mothers, so that way all the Girl Scouts can sell cookies at the mall. Since Dina's troop previously had a monopoly over that. And they decide to have a contest. Whoever sells the most cookies at the mall gains the ability to sell cookies at the mall. I'm not sure that made sense. Anyway, the day of the contest comes, and Dina asks where Mrs. Zamboni is, because apparently den mothers must be present for cookie selling events. So Alex has to use a high-pitched voice and pretend to be Mrs. Zamboni in the dressing room and talk to Dina. He also talks to Matisse, and still pretending to be Mrs. Zamboni, tells her that he talks about her all the time. So I guess I finally know the key to getting a girlfriend. Pretend to be an old lady in a dressing room. Wait. However, then everybody finds out that Alex made all of Troop 57's badges himself. So now they can't go to Camporee because they don't have enough actual badges. Oh, also, apparently Camporee is the big event that all Girl Scouts are looking forward to and working towards. Then Alex tries to make it up to them by setting up a whole bunch of stuff for them to do to get the badges that they need. But they also don't have enough money for Camporee because they didn't sell enough cookies. So they decide to sell muffins at the hockey game. At the game though, Alex has to pretend to be Mrs. Zamboni because he doesn't want to be seen there with Troop 57. Luckily though, one of them happens to be a makeup artist and they pull a Mrs. Doubtfire. Yeah, I think it's just kind of happening in this movie at this point. Anyway, they get to the hockey game and oh no, Dina's there! And she's like, well, how the turntables, where's your dead mother? And then Alex walks up like, Then Alex overhears his coach saying that if he was there, he would end his suspension because the team is losing. So Alex jumps at the chance and is like, I'm right here, dressed as an old lady. Then he jumps into the game, still dressed as Mrs. Zamboni, and wins the game. However, Dina sees this, and now Troop 57 really can't go to Camporee. Now, Alex's sister, father, Troop 57, and Matisse are all mad at him. And also, his friend Goose. Oh yeah, I forgot about him. Yeah, he's still mad at him also. So then Alex talks to one of his neighbors, Mrs. Jacklitz, and she tells him that she used to be a Bumblebee Girl Scout. And also, her daughter was in the same troop as his mother, who died. Then she agrees to be Troop 57's den mother if Alex helps her with stuff around the house. And then she walks in like a boss and is like, alright, let's do a go for it. And they're like, okay, what is the it that we're going for? And she's like, how about forgiveness?
Yeah, I was talking about like a pretty necklace or a nice hat, you know, something make the other girls go, ooh, that's nice.
Anyway, Alex is back in the team, but now he has learned his lesson. He isn't so showboaty and actually passes to Goose and lets him score. And because of this, Goose ends up in the All-Star team instead of him. But he's okay with that now, and he's actually happy for him. Then Troop 57 says that Alex is the real den mother, or den brother, if you will. Oh wait, I already used that unoriginal joke. And they say that they want him instead of Mrs. Jacklitz. And then Alex sees that his father finally came to one of his games. Oh yeah, that was the thing throughout the movie, that his father never came to his hockey games. And he's like, seriously, you came to this game? You didn't even see me at my best. And then his father is like, actually, I think I did. Best exchange of words of the whole movie right there. It really shows the theme of this movie about people changing for the better and how Alex is completely different and better than he was at the beginning of the movie, and it's just so good. Then, at Camporee, Dina gives them a hard time about Alex being their den mother. But then they're like, actually, according to some rule somewhere, if every kid's parents sign off on a 17-year-old boy being den mother, then it's okay. But then Dina's like, well, no, according to something, at Camporee, the den mother has to be wearing the Bumblebee uniform. So then Matisse, who is overhearing this whole thing, sets Alex up with the Bumblebee uniform. And since the All-Stars coach is also Dina's husband, he's there. So he says to Alex, hey, it takes a lot of guts to be a 17-year-old boy walking around wearing a Bumblebee Girl Scout uniform. And because of that, I want you to take the last spot on the All-Stars. So in the end, Alex got his dream of being on the All-Stars and also gets the girl. A classic Disney Channel original movie ending. Now, I actually really like this movie. I'd say it's pretty high in my Disney Channel original movie ranking. And honestly, I'm actually going to give it a 9 out of 10. And that's because I'm kind of a sucker for these kind of movies about self-centered jerk turned good guy, which is why I'm a big fan of Iron Man. I love seeing the change of the character throughout the movie and how it shows that even the worst person has the potential for good. So, to answer the question, does Den Brother hold up? Yes, it does. It's still a great story of selfish turned selfless. And it's genuinely a good movie and actually surprised me with how good it was. Anyway, that's my thoughts on Den Brother. Please comment your thoughts below and maybe leave some suggestions of Disney Channel original movies for me to see if they still hold up. Also remember to like, subscribe, and check out some of my other videos. With that said, that's a wrap.